Okay. Already off to a good start here. The mic wasn't connected for some reason. Alright, so welcome everyone to Absinthe of Art. So we got a new mic. Chat, let me know if it's working, if it's not working, how our sound levels are with the music, because I change it every time and it's always fucked up in some way. This is Jason. It's Copland, right? I've never got that right.
It certainly is Copland.
Okay, cool. Yes. Jason Copland, who is an artist on many, many different titles. You've done Dark Horse, you've done Image, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Image, you've done Marvel. What else?
No DC.
No DC. Boom, you've done a little bit for.
Boom. Dark Horse.
Yeah.
Dark Horse. Yeah.
So, yeah, so he's a local guy as well. Pretty much everyone that's going to be on this show is local. And we are going to sit here and drink, and he is going to draw, and I'm just going to try to keep him entertained as we do so. So, we actually had a good time with the way that we did the show last time, which was with the Dungeons & Dragons kind of theme. You are a D&D player.
I am.
So, I think we're going to go with that again. But we're going to start things off with, if you guys are joining us tonight, you can participate, which is kind of the most fun part about this. It's having you guys show us your drawings. So all you need to do tonight is hashtag Absinthe of Art and tweet that, and I will be checking that throughout the night, and every time I see a drawing, I will put it up on the camera for everybody to see and give you the credit for your Twitter handle. And also, you will have an opportunity to win a prize, which will be revealed at the next show, which I'll talk about that in a little second, because I don't have a show next weekend. I'm out of town, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. Let's see here. I think no one said anything about the sound, so I guess they can hear us. So this week, we are giving away this piece, and I think this camera might be too close. It's the Max, yeah, you can't quite see it, but anyway, that's the one there. That is the Max Dunbar from last week. We're going to be giving that one away from the show last week. So if you were drawing that and you were part of the show last week, I have already picked the winner, and I'm going to reveal that at the break. And just remind me, because I'm usually a little drunk by then. So just remind me, chat, that I know who's already won this, but you have to wait a little bit, because I'm a dick. Alright, so...
No, you're not.
All right, so yeah, let's get down to business here. Well, why don't we start with the dice rolling to figure out what, I guess, race. So you can do both. You can do both at the same time, or you can do the D10 first and then the D12 afterwards.
All right, I'll do the 10 first.
Okay. And if it's a 0, you roll again.
It's
9.
not. It's a 9.
All right, so we have a tiefling. You know what a tiefling is? It's a half demon creature.
I don't think I know what it is, but I've never actually don't think I've seen one.
Okay, well, there's reference in the book. If you
okay,
want.
then yeah, let's do that then.
Okay,
all right.
So
it's just a fiery something, right?
Well, they kind of are humans with horns.
Oh, there's no flames. For some reason, I thought they're.
I mean, they have like hellish blood. They have that ability.
Ah, okay.
See.
All right, yeah.
But they can look like any, horns can all look different.
Right.
They can have a tail or not. Just think of what you would think of if somebody got boned by a demon, what that baby would look like.
All right. I'm thinking about it right now.
And then we'll find out what class.
Okay, class.
Yeah.
I have one that I really hope because that's the one that 8.
All right, let's find out. It's a ranger. You can keep that or you can roll again if you want. But if you do, you have to take a drink.
Oh, what kind of drink?
Just a sip of your drink.
Oh, well, I'll do that gladly. No, Ranger's fine.
So Tiefling Ranger, and now you're also going to draw out of the magical skull for a theme.
Drum roll.
Brrr, I'd roll, but it would knock over the mic. It's a Mickey Mouse operation here.
I got like too many. Okay, I got one. A hybrid.
Okay, so the word is hybrid. It is already kind of a hybrid. Pick a new one.
Okay.
You had that second one.
A neckbeard. Neckbeard.
Okay, so we've got it. Do you know what a neckbeard is?
I have no idea. What's a neckbeard?
It's kind of like the nerdy dude bro. Like, kind of like, I don't know how to best describe it. Chad, how would you best describe
A neck beard?
a neck beard? Well, they'll describe it to you. So that is the theme for this, the first shot. Jason says he draws really quickly, so we may have more than one before the break, so we'll see. They say I have a neck beard.
You have a neck beard.
I think you have a neck beard.
So like a beard that goes down into your neck?
Yeah. Okay. You've got one, but it also means something. Some people are saying like a person who wears a fedora. do you know what I'm talking about? Like nobody wears them anymore, but like people who do.
Except for that dude that wears it. He's also got one of those beards.
He's got a neck beard.
Yeah, okay.
They live. Okay, here's a couple. They live in the parents' basement.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. All right. So you guys, if you are drawing along with us, hashtag Absinthe of Art, and I will be checking that. Your theme for this first chunk is a Tiefling Ranger neckbeard. All right. So go ahead, you guys can start drawing, and I will have a chat with Jason as he goes. He's going straight to inks too, right? That's what you're.
Yeah, well, because I live with whiteout. I think that I've blown quite a few brain cells sniffing this stuff. I think that's probably why I use it a lot, because it smells really good to me now. I generally, like when I'm sketching, I don't really use pencil. I just sort of let stuff happen. So, and then if things that happen suck, that's what the whiteout's for.
Okay, all right. Well, we've got a better definition.
Oh.
It's the dictionary. I'm assuming it's the Urban Dictionary. A man who is socially inept and physically unappealing, especially one who has an obsessive interest in computing. But you don't have to go with the computing thing. You can just maybe think of like a ranger who doesn't get out of his woods too much.
Okay.
You do whatever you want.
Right. Okay. Oh, man. All right.
Conceptualizing.
I'm trying.
Well, we gotta.
The wheels are turning.
Okay. Well, we've got to. So, if you guys haven't noticed yet, this is on the table. So I'll do a little zoom in here for you guys just to see what the drink of tonight is. I thought everyone in the chat would really appreciate that, and Jason doesn't know what that means, so he better be careful tonight. All right. Let's get the absinthe going.
Okay.
You've got your cider, but you kind of have to do this portion of the show. This froze solid. I put it in the freezer and forgot about it, so I don't know how much water we have in here. So we'll see how that goes. Okay. So talk a little bit about when you started being interested in illustrating, because you're also into sports and stuff too, right? Like you're a big hockey fan. You've been playing hockey. Often there isn't a lot of crossover there in general.
Right.
Where did it kind of start for you?
Well, I think that I was actually more of a sports guy growing up as a kid. I definitely loved hockey from a really early age.
Yep. Who is your team? Or who is your team?
Well, see, it's odd because my team growing up was a team that, as a child, I couldn't even watch on television. But the reason why I picked the team was because I really liked their logo. And not just because it looked cool, but it was fun to draw. So that was the Atlanta Flames.
Oh!
I'm dating myself a little bit here because most people probably have no idea what the Atlanta Flames
Well, that was when the NHL split and there was another league, right? It was not the whole...
Well, yeah, the Atlanta Flames were definitely a team that was an expansion team that developed, I want to say, mid-'70s.
Yeah.
And so I would buy I'd buy hockey cards, and I would draw. This actually, I made money as an artist when I was about 7. A buddy of mine and I would buy hockey cards, and then we would draw pictures on paper of the players. And so I drew the goalies because the goalies had all the awesome gear
the pads and all that. Yeah.
So I would draw the goalies from the hockey cards, try to Grant Fuhrer, whoever was playing at the time, and then and then draw the logos and stuff. And then we would stand on the side of the road, the two of us, selling our drawings to cars that drove past. So this is the day where, you know, kids could just go off and do whatever they wanted to do.
Yeah, different time. Yeah.
Parents didn't know where we were. So we were on the side of the road, selling our drawings to cars that pulled over.
Well, you got to get in first, kid.
For 10 cents a drawing.
Yeah.
And some guy, I remember this quite clearly, some guy bought all the ones that we had for $5.20, I think it was.
Man.
And I think it probably was one of these things where, it could have developed into something.
Yeah.
If I was alone, but it was me and my buddy, and we kind of like grabbed the money and we were like, okay, see you, mister, and we were off. And
what a horrible intro to drawing story that you were almost raped by somebody.
I mean, I like to think that that's not what his intention was.
He just really liked your drawings.
That
you know?
I think that he was
had an eye for
interested
art.
in young boys who like to draw hockey players. And I like to think that they're still on somebody's wall, maybe framed somewhere. But it started early. I really enjoyed hockey and drawing as well. But hockey was something that I would do like for hours. Like we'd get home from school and I would be out till dinner, and then I had to go home for dinner, and then as soon as dinner was over, I was back out playing hockey.
You weren't drawing at that point.
No.
This fruit fly is gonna keep
bugging me.
He was here last week too, that last bastard.
So sports was always sort of the big thing for me growing up. I didn't really know a lot of kids that were really all that interested in drawing, other than that one guy, and I can't remember his name. And I think we did it just to make money so that we could buy more hockey cards.
Oh, right, of course.
So,
so where did you grow up then? Where was that?
Lower Mainland. If we want the round trip, I was born in Edmonton, but raised in Calgary for the first 3 years of my life. Yeah. And then my parents got divorced, and I moved out to the Vancouver area with my mom. Okay. And then, so I've been in the Vancouver area, all over Surrey, Newton.
But that's like around this area.
Yeah, Lower Mainland, sort of. Never right downtown, but in the Lower Mainland area. And and then I grew up from grade 5 till end of high school in a place called Aldergrove, which is east of Langley. Okay. And that was a great place for me to grow up. But again, I was mostly into sports at that time, and we would play street hockey like constantly.
So where did all of a sudden you were just like, I like art?
High school, because it was the one that was the least homework.
No way.
Yeah.
That's seriously why you started drawing?
Yeah. Well, yes and no. Yes and no. I kind of discovered comics around the time of grade that would have been probably grade 7. And then like going down to the corner store and buying some comics, and then this is kind of wild, is that we had this drawing, we had this big trunk that was full of stuff, and there was this drawing of Jack Kirby's Demon.
Oh, okay.
A full color 11 by 17 on illustration board, and it was awesome.
Like original?
Yeah, it was awesome. And it was, as far as I could tell, it was signed John. And but I never, whatever. That was cool. And then one day I was reading a comic, and I said, "Oh, I really like this art." And my mom was like, "Oh, who's the artist?" And I said, "Oh, it's a guy named John Byrne." And my mom just kind of stopped and said, "Who?" And I said, "John Byrne." And she says, "Oh, your dad went to high school or to art school with John Byrne."
No.
And the drawing of the demon is a John Byrne original from 1971. I think.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was already sort of ingrained.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, somewhere in there, John Byrne was something that had just.
That's interesting.
That's what it was going to be.
Huh.
So art kind of stemmed from.
So your dad was an artist.
Yeah, he still is actually. He's a practicing artist in in Victoria.
Okay.
And yeah, so
interesting.
Yeah, it was kind of.
So weird. Then from there, you just started doing it in high school, and
yeah, because I
got someone said that the mic is picking up every thump, so I'm gonna see if we've got some like coasters or something that I can put under it.
Oh,
so that it's not
under the drawing.
No, under the mic. Apparently, it's like. I know we have coasters, and I think that would do the trick. We'll see. This is kind of, by the seat of your pants, we just kind of make shit up as we go.
DIY?
Yeah. Okay, so we've put some coasters under there. Let us know if that makes a fuck of difference. You guys have a really long neck. That's what it looks like. Anyway, continue on.
Oh, just this pen's running out. This sucks.
We got someone from the chat saying that they loved your work in Daredevil.
Oh, thanks. Well, I have a difficult time being gracious with people saying nice things about me. And when people say nice things about Daredevil, I always say, well, thanks, but I was working from Chris Somney's layouts for that, so I feel like more than half the job was actually done by Chris anyways.
But you still drew it.
I drew, so I got layouts that were fairly well defined, but I still had to pencil individual things, and I inked it all and everything like that. But it's one of those things where I would feel a whole lot better if I had done all of the work in it. Only that I could say, that was my work.
But you still do all your own stuff, so it's not like you can't do it. It's just on that particular case. But I see what you're saying. Okay, here's your absinthe.
Okay.
You can't put it down without trying it.
Apparently it tastes like licorice.
It does a little bit, yeah.
It's like kind of like a weaker Sambuca.
Yeah, it is a little bit sounded like Sambuca. That's what I would call it, yeah.
Alright. Yeah,
it's not too bad. It's not too bad.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I'll drink this.
It's 70%, so just so you know.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a fast drinker, so is this...
Don't fast drink that.
Is that like 100? Like, you didn't water this down or anything?
Oh, no, it's watered down. I put a shot, and then it's watered. The rest is water.
Oh,
yeah, okay. Or else you would die. No, you wouldn't die, but it
would taste like shit.
Yeah. Someone said the arc was great and the art fitted perfectly. Same guy. Ronan Maximus said that.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I really actually did try to adjust the way I drew and inked so that it fit Chris. It was a weird way to come in because the run was is so well loved, and rightfully so, that I didn't want to be that dude that came in and like totally shat all over everything.
No pressure.
Yeah, well, exactly. You know, it's only Mark Waid and Chris Somney who've had like stellar reviews for like only the past 3 years.
How did that happen? Can you talk about that?
Yeah, well, essentially it comes right down to Mark Waid just putting my name in graciously.
So you have a bit of contact with him?
Well, yeah, go to the conventions and see Mark kind of here and there, and he would we'd chat, and it was one of those things where it's like, well, maybe we could try to do something together, and as many times when you have that discussion, people's schedules or
things happen.
Mark's a busy guy.
Yeah, I mean,
I wasn't going to hold him to anything, and so we just chatted, and it was like and every time I saw him at a show, he wouldn't remember my face. I'd be like, Jason. He wouldn't have to look at my name tag or anything. So I was like, oh, this is cool.
Leveling up.
And then just one day when I was at my job, excuse me, I didn't mean to.
That'll happen a lot after you have the absinthe.
One day I'm sitting there at my job at the Vancouver Library on my lunch break, and all of a sudden an email comes in, and it's Steve Wacker, who's like, hey, just wondering if you'd be interested in drawing a backup issue of Daredevil. And it was just like, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So after I did the little happy dance, I got on email and I said, fuck yeah. And then so I did that after I sent the email, and then I emailed Mark Waid, and I said, Mark, you didn't happen to have anything to do with the fact that Steve Wacker just offered me a fill-in, and all I sent back was a smiley face. So, I mean, the way I read it was, yes, that was Mark Waid getting me on Daredevil. So, Mark Waid, I love you. And it was an amazing time, and everyone seemed to be really happy with my work editorially, and Mark Waid and Chris was very nice, and whenever I had a question, Chris would step right up and.
So is he just getting too busy, or what was happening?
Yeah, I think at that point he might have been doing some Rocketeer or something. There was something.
What a weird thing to move on to.
No, it was like a side thing, I think. Like he had signed on for something. I could be totally wrong, because my memory is one that, he was just overworked at the time, I think. Or maybe he was moving, or he just had I think they had a child?
Yeah.
Or something. Anyway, something came up and they just needed... And like I say, he supplied the layout, so, it wasn't total hands-off or anything.
Yeah.
So it was a little bit of both. I knew Chris also through going to conventions and just chatting and social media.
So I don't know that we've talked. I think we talked to Max a little bit about it. What do you think about conventions and going to them and promoting yourself there? Do you think it's an effective tool? You've been doing it for quite a few years now.
Yeah, I didn't. Emerald City, one of the very first Emerald Cities I went down with Ed Brisson, and I'm trying to remember what year that was, but it wasn't that long ago, so I've only been doing conventions maybe for about 5 years or something.
Yeah.
And you can't get in without going to a convention, unless you are like immensely talented, because there's something about seeing people face to face and having those face to face discussions and creating a bond that you can't quite get on social media. So I think it's invaluable. I think you need to go to conventions and meet these people. And even if it's just the first time you say, hello, I like your work, I think your work's great. And then the next time you see them, they remember you, or you have the same conversation. But eventually you build up some sort of relationship. And it's not fake, you try not to go in and that's why you're there.
You kind of get people start to see if you're that person. It goes to cons just to network to get just to get yourself in. It's like you got to chill your tits and just hang out.
I think people respond much more if you're just a person interested in the things that they're interested in. I think that it's one of those things where I think people just need to take it slow. Get to know people.
I mean, I can without a doubt say that my comic writing career got started because of Calgary Expo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's where I met Tyler Jenkins. That's where I was pitching with him before we did Panzerfaust together. We were doing a bunch of other stuff behind the scenes. We did a magazine together, like a narrative magazine together.
Oh yeah, I read that. You put that online. Yeah.
So we did a whole bunch of stuff, and that just kind of, not only was it a place where I got to meet Riley Rossmo through Tyler Jenkins. It opened up the doors for this whole world of artists that were local. I was in Saskatoon, but it's still local, being in Calgary.
Yeah.
A few hours drive, and from there getting the confidence to do new stuff and just to meet all these people. And that really was all those things came out of friendship. Like Tyler and I worked together, but it really was a friendship based thing.
Yeah, and I really think that's how great things come about. It's not forced.
Yeah,
sort of friendships and things. I mean, things like that can happen where somebody will kind of contact you out of the blue, and then you're like, oh yeah, let's do something. But I think that really strong things tend to be made by people that have a connection that goes beyond just the work.
Yep. And same sensibilities.
And you only get that from sitting and chatting with these people on things that aren't necessarily comic book related. Get to know the things that they're interested in personally. I think that that whole idea of of getting to know people before you try to force a comic collaboration together is really important. And so
I like how this is turning into kind of like it is a modern meets medieval.
I was thinking Kevin Smith.
Yeah, well, people are catching that. Yeah, definitely. We have a question. What kind of paper you're drawing on?
That's a very good question. It's Bristol board, but it's this upside down.
Yeah.
It's this new kind because I was actually using Strathmore 400, and then they stopped making. I think it was the 400. They stopped making the 11 by 17 size, 14 by 17, because I actually work slightly larger than 11.
For your comic pages?
Yeah, and they stopped making it, and so this Cranston does a 14 by 17, and it's actually cheaper than the Strathmore was. So I tried it, and it's fabulous. I love it.
Okay.
So today, I don't normally work on this size. Today, just for this, I went out and I bought this stuff, and it was like $10 for 25 sheets or something. So it's excellent, and it's great.
So it can be pretty expensive, hey? Would you say there is a lot of cost involved with making a monthly comic, as far as like your supplies?
I think the initial output. I think the biggest cost is definitely the paper for an artist. Once you get past having to have a computer and Photoshop and a scanner and all that stuff,
right?
The kind of the day-to-day costs, not really that expensive. A bottle of ink lasts me for a couple months, and I use brushes and pens and nibs and stuff till they can't do anything anymore. So I really ride my supplies right to the end. So I don't really find it that expensive. But it was nice to find this paper though.
I'm just gonna check the Twitter here to see what if anyone's tweeting at me. Looks like there is.
I don't know what armor looks like.
It's kind of chainmailing.
Yeah, but then it gets down
where does
to
it?
something.
Where does
some bands start happening and stuff? But I'm not like Max who draws this stuff like every day.
That's his shtick.
I can't say that I've.
You can just say like it stops right at his belly and he's not wearing any pants. He's just butt naked.
I should have thought of this earlier.
Okay, so we've got a couple here. I'm actually going to search the hashtag because some people tweet it at me and some people tweeted at the hashtag. So let's just check the hashtag. Okay. So this is by @N_E_Anderson. So we know him. Nick is one of our moderators on the channel. And there you go. Those are giant horns. I don't know how he puts a fucking shirt on in the morning. Okay. And then we've got one from Ozai75. This guy looks like he kills neckbeards. Took that fedora right off his damn head. So thanks for sharing those, guys. They're great.
Yeah, great stuff, man. Men, women,
gentlemen,
people. Non-gender specific. Oh man, we live in a rough time. It used to be. I don't know.
There you go. That's kind of like a Conan. Big,
I just kind of riffing. Like I say, I tend to draw quickly when I'm sketching. I don't think too much sometimes, and then it kind of bites me in the ass later. But.
So what you're doing this straight to marker? Do you then do inks on top of that after, or is this just kind of like a looser sketch? What is?
Well, when I'm sketching, this is it. I won't take this any further. When I'm working on pages, I don't generally work like this. I'll work from the script and figure out shots and that sort of thing. Usually digitally.
Yeah.
I have a Cintiq, a small Cintiq.
Do you pencil at all?
Sometimes my process changes on my whims. Sometimes I'll use a pencil, but I think that the problem is that I have to draw it in pencil and then I have to scan it and then I have to. And it's like, well, why don't I just do it digitally, anyways?
So you render digitally first sometimes?
Like
your pencils phase?
Yeah. Oh man, yeah. I wish I could show examples of some of my pencils, especially for things like Kill Monsters, where I kind of know what I'm going to draw. Like I know the characters well enough that I don't actually draw the characters, and so there's blobs and stuff. Kind of just like, oh, this is where
just kind
the
of
skull
the area
is going to go.
Yeah.
This is where
interesting.
this is going to go. And a lot of the drawing, I'd say a vast amount of the drawing is done in ink. Which is one reason why my pages are covered in whiteout, because I kind of draw while I'm drawing. You know what I mean?
Well,
like the pages come through.
I noticed you started like you hadn't even got this in, and you drew the hand already.
Yeah,
you hadn't even got. That was interesting.
It's one of those things where I didn't really think too far. Like when I drew down here. Part of me was just like long jacket. He needs to have a long jacket on. I wasn't thinking, then I need to put a bow in front of it. If I had thought of that, then I wouldn't have drawn the jacket as long. So this is one of those things where that
whiteout
is my it's my pal. And so a lot of times I'll get a drawing to a point where I'm kind of happy with it overall, and then the whiteout comes out, and I just wash out the stuff that I think is crap, and then draw over top of that.
Okay.
It's difficult to draw over whiteout with stuff like this. When I draw with my regular ink stuff where I dip and draw, it goes over whiteout much better.
Okay.
So a sketch like this, I'm not going to really bones about going over and trying to fix it too much, because I could draw another one in 15 minutes. Or whatever.
All right.
That sort of thing. This is kind of like just to get the brain going.
Yeah. Does it take you a while to, do you always start with practice sketches and stuff? Like, is that, no?
No. I look at when people do these warm-up sketches and things, and I think, well, they're awesome, but I don't understand really the idea of warming up, because I just start drawing, and then when it works, and if it doesn't work, then I white it out until it works. So the whole idea of, getting ready to work by working, I never quite understand, and it's not a judgment thing or anything, right?
Yeah.
If that's the way people want to work, we all have our process.
It is true.
But I don't quite get it.
I know a lot of writers that do, they go page by page breakdowns, they plan their scripts in advance, page 1 to 5. These are the things that need to happen, and 6 to 10 or whatever. I've never done that. I just sit down and I write the script. I have maybe an overall idea of what it needs to happen,
right?
But I kind of a little bit what you do artistically is just kind of the improv of it, feeling it as it goes.
Yeah,
and that has led me, as you said, it leads to trouble sometimes.
Oh.
And I've had that happen to me where I'm like, I can't get myself out of this, and I've had to scrap 3/4 of the script because, but I feel like often it really pays off for me.
Yeah,
to let the characters kind of guide the story a little bit, rather than me just being like, this is the story and the characters have to react, they have to fit into that story.
Right.
I kind of go the opposite way. I'm like, let's see what story comes out of the characters doing things.
Yeah. And I think that's one reason why I draw the way I draw, I think, is that it's sort of like the happy accident, the things that happen almost subconsciously when I draw. I wouldn't have planned, or I couldn't have planned, I might, not necessarily on this is not very good, but it's one of those things where it's like, if I had drawn something when I'm looping around and making a mess and stuff, and then all of a sudden it suggests something, that's not something that I could necessarily have come up with by sitting and planning it.
Right, okay.
I got it because I sat around and just messed.
Yeah.
And that's sort of that's the way my process works, I think, is that I don't sit and I don't meticulously try to calculate how to do this. I just kind of do it, and then when it doesn't work, I white it out and do it again.
So do you do layouts then for comic pages?
I do, but like I say, they're quite quite messy.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and lots of blobs, and I generally rough in where the dialogue goes.
Yeah.
Just kind of leave this, don't fuss about this area too much.
Yeah.
Because it's just going to get covered anyways.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's one of those things where the process is, I try to make it a lot more intuitive and a little less dependent on, you know, what people would probably consider work.
Yeah.
I want it to be fun and not so much, you know, work.
Right.
Sadly, I don't like work.
Because you're an artist. I'm
like
the same way. I'm a writer.
I like to have fun. But, you know, when you were saying about the way some writers have to write that stuff out, no way am I considering myself a writer, but I'm trying to start to write.
Yeah.
And I can totally see myself saying, okay, from page 1 to 4 is going to be a chase scene, and then I need to figure out how to, you know, pace that out in those pages. I think, to me, that feels like a process of writing that I will probably end up going into, just because to me it seems like kind of that it's almost the opposite of this, where I can't start writing. I need to kind of have a plan. Whereas drawing, and maybe it's just because I have never really written, I feel like I need to.
Well, let's talk a little bit about that, because you have been putting a pitch together. What is it called? Last Stand? Is that what? Am I
right? Full Tilt.
Why do I think it was Last Stand?
I'm not sure.
I don't know what the fuck's going on. I should have done my research beforehand.
No,
but so how did you find that writing process? Like, so first of all, tell us a little bit about it, and then talk a little bit about like your writing aspect and how you planned the pitch and everything like that.
Well, I haven't got it that far down the line yet. I've got some characters, and I have an overall premise. I've been reading a lot, because I always find that writers are people who read a lot, and I've notoriously been somebody who doesn't read at all. I think my son has read more novels in his first 10 years than I have read in my entire life.
Wow.
And so I'm trying to rectify that a little bit.
And you worked in a library, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah, but you know, the library has tons of awesome books that aren't necessarily things that you have to read.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of those things where I think that the process, because it's new to me, I'll probably be a little more meticulous about how I go about doing it, you know?
Yeah.
Because I don't have that confidence to just say, I'm going to write this scene, here I go. I need to kind of figure out what the scene is and what will happen in that scene before I actually write it.
Yeah.
Who knows? I may, at one point, one day, get to a position where I feel like I can do that as a process, but right now, no.
So you just drop ink into that little section there? Is that kind of what you?
Yeah. Okay. Well, what I'll do is just to kind of.
Can we? I don't know if we can see that on the camera.
I can't see the camera.
Yeah, you can a little bit. Yeah, you can. Perfect. Okay.
Where am I?
Yeah, you're good.
There I am.
Yeah, we have two different angles. So I'm just gonna quickly, while you're doing that, I got a couple more pieces of art. This one's kind of creeping me out a little bit. The belly is. It's the belly that's doing it for me. I'm not.
Is that Mitch?
Yes. You know Mitch?
I recognize Mitch. Yeah.
Great
stuff, Mitch.
Yeah, good stuff. It's that belly is. I'm not gonna forget that anytime soon. That is at DOIG bag. Doig bag. I don't know if I said that right. We've got another one from Elka Michael. Speaking of which, you still haven't emailed me.
Get on it.
So it's 2 weeks now. You can get a slot, man. After this month, I don't have anyone, so we need people. For the love of God. This is.
I'll do this every week.
All right. Hey, sure. Sounds good. I would like to get a round table. I don't know how quite to shoot it.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be able to get this really close over there, but I think we could do is just have a large round table with like 4 or 5 artists just jamming on each other's art, and then just hold it up when it's done.
Yeah. Well, because when you first started this, and I was thinking that it was going to be like the drink and draws in Vancouver, where like the comic jam, where you
pass
kind of
it around.
you like a
panel each.
Yeah, it's like a collaborative thing.
Yeah.
Where you're not tied down to one specific thing.
Well, I fucked that all up, man. Fucked it all up. Okay, anyway, this one's from Elka Michael 77, who's here every week doing awesome shit. I love this.
Oh, nice. I like his
big. You can see it.
I like his big collar. Yeah,
that's great.
Wicked.
That is definitely the neck beard. The beard starts below the chin, which is well done. Okay, let's see here. I got a few more. I'm just gonna keep. I gotta retweet this stuff. I keep forgetting. I'm not a very good. I'm trying to host. You know, do multiple things. I swear that camera's gonna come down. Like, it's gonna happen some point. That thing is gonna collapse.
It's like right on the edge.
It's right on the edge. It's on the. It's.
Jeez, man.
Okay, this one's pretty good too. This one's from Tatake no Kami, which Adam Slater, who is a frequenter on our channels as well. Hopefully, oh, I got some kind of weird. I held it wrong. Takes a second to zoom in. There we go.
Oh, I like the boots.
Yeah.
Nice boots.
Yeah, I was hoping that was like a. It kind of looks like he might be wearing a short skirt. If that was the case, you could have a testicle hanging out. You can do that if you want. I'm not, you know.
I could still go down below here. I didn't know how to end this, but I could always get some sort of dangly testicle thing happening here.
Yeah. All right, we've got a crying kid here.
It's like a mini skirt.
I guess Shannon's in there, trying to calm that kid down. She's sick right now, so if you guys are new to our channel, I have a child and she screams a lot, and you generally hear her every single thing that we do in this house. So we shoot from this place about 4 times a week, and she's crying usually 4 times a week when we're shooting. So anyway,
and it's heartbreaking.
Not really. It's more annoying than anything.
Well, when she first used to do it, it was heartbreaking.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's actually the only time her crying was really heartbreaking is when she got needles. That was hard. That was hard for me because she kind of gives you this look like you're supposed to protect me. You know?
Yeah.
Why did you let that person stab me with metal?
Exactly. It's like why? What's going on?
There are testicles showing up on this piece now. They're just. I'm so proud of you.
I had to make this interesting somehow.
Yeah. Just forgot to put on his pants that day.
No, he's got like a mini tunic. It doesn't quite go down.
That's like, you know, it's effective for the chest, but you guaranteed every time someone's going to try to slash those balls off.
Oh man, that's a critical strike right there. For sure. Man, that's gonna.
Okay, that's fair. That's true.
That's gonna hurt. All right.
Okay. Still checking my tweets here. Just want to thank everyone for coming out again.
Yeah, thanks.
I like I said,
I haven't been drinking enough.
You sipped your.
I've been so focused on making sure this thing doesn't turn out like shit.
It was the same thing. Like Max, he didn't realize like he has absinthe that's there pretty much all night. Okay, you crushed that can. I got to get you another one. You can't not have a can next to you. You're creating right now.
I'll drink this too.
Do you ever drink while you're creating? Like, do you get drunk just to like feel the flow? No.
These sadly, this is probably going to be the best one tonight because the more I drink, the worse it gets.
It's Takai no Kami. That's how you say your name. That's how I'm always going to say it. Even if you correct me in person, I'm going to just make it worse. Because you know what? People pronounce my name wrong all the time. Like this week on Critical Role, they pronounced it Weeby. Weeby. So
I had a the reason why I don't mess up your name at all ever is because I actually had my 7th grade teacher and at the time principal of the school. His name was Weeb.
Yeah,
his last name was Weeb.
Was he an asshole or?
He was kind of an asshole.
Was he?
Yeah.
That's what we're known for. Yeah. Throughout the lands.
But you know, he's a principal, and
they kind of have to be an asshole.
They have to be assholes.
Yeah,
for sure. So.
I dig that, man. I think that's really good. I think the surprise testicles is the winner for me.
Yeah, I think it was failing until that point. Yeah.
We got a question for you, Jason.
Okay.
Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot to say that at the beginning. You guys are completely welcome to ask me or Jason any questions.
You guys drive the content.
Yes, we sit here and just kind of have a conversation. But if you have any questions for Jason about anything at all. Maybe not personal, but...
Well, you can ask. I don't know. I'm not necessarily answer, but feel free to ask.
Man Shannon is here. Welcome, Man Shannon. Shannon Lentz.
Oh!
Well, remember, because in our D&D campaign, we had Shan and Man Shan, so he became Man Shannon.
Right.
Okay, so let's see here. Let's see how many questions. Oh, any comic you would love to work in? Anything.
Any comic that I'd like to work on. Daredevil. Yeah. It's the only one that I think...
Why? Like, what do you like about that?
See, we were talking about this earlier.
Yeah.
The only thing... See, I actually don't really like... Okay, if you're connected to Marvel, if you're a Marvel editor right now, turn away. Because I really don't read superhero comics, and I really don't like superhero comics. Only that because I know that I will never, ever, ever get a payoff that will stick.
Yeah, like a death.
You know,
it's just gonna be retconned.
That anything that happened will go back to the status quo eventually. And so I have a problem getting involving myself for a prolonged amount of time into something that I know will ultimately never change. So the thing that I like about superhero comics is always the art. The story I generally don't ever. If I buy a superhero comic, I won't read it. I just buy it because I like the artist.
Yeah.
So and so the design of Daredevil is amazing, and it's something that I would love to draw. Like,
if you could do it forever, would you do it?
No.
No, you want to do other stuff.
I wouldn't want to draw anything forever.
Yeah.
But I think that I would have a decent run in me.
Yeah.
And the same goes with Batman, other than the fact that I don't really like...
His design is so close to Daredevil.
Yeah, but I don't really like any of the villains I don't like DC Comics in general.
Sorry, we have 3 DC editors here. Welcome to the stream, guys. 3 DC editors have just said that they're here. They're going to hear what you just said. I'm sorry.
That's fine, because I talked to a DC editor already, and they said that they would get back to me, and they never did. So they're dead to me.
I've had the run around myself, and it's the way it goes.
Yeah.
Okay, there's some questions here. Someone asked me what the best comic collaboration experience was.
No,
I don't
answer that.
I don't know if. No, I think I can answer that honestly, because it's not really so much... Well, it is about the person. But for me, it was Green Wake with Riley Rossmo, and that was because Green Wake was immensely personal. I have a tattoo of it as a reminder about certain things in my life that I will never go back to. And but Riley was living in Saskatoon at the time when we were working on it. We first started, and actually Riley was working. Do you remember Proof, the comic?
Yep.
So he was working on that, and he asked me to do some backup stuff. He's like, "Hey, I want to do like 3 to 4 page backup stuff in the back of Proof just for extra content. I want to do something kind of like horror, maybe like I just want to do something a little bit more dark and gritty."
Right.
So I started coming up with a concept for this about this like kind of almost like. A little bit Cthulhu-based, like this investigator who goes and visits this small town looking for this girl who's disappeared, and the town is full of like these really strange people, and it just kind of turns into this really weird psychological horror thing. And that was right around the time I think they decided to pull the pin on Proof, and so that thing never happened, but I'd done all this work, and that eventually became Green Wake. And I was also at that time going through, like, my marriage is basically falling apart, and if you guys don't know anything about my marriage before, I wasn't allowed to write certain things. I was in a very controlling relationship, and so I wasn't allowed to fully be free with my creative process. And Green Wake was the first time I was, and it was like super fucking angry. And like there was a couple pages in that I, for many years afterwards, I couldn't look at without feeling both immense rage and just sadness. Like, it was so personal for me. And Riley was the perfect person for it. And if you guys don't know Riley Rossmo, he is an amazing Canadian talent. And if I can get him on this show, I will do it. He's such a great guy.
He's awesome.
And so, anyway, he lived in town at the time, and we had the opportunity just to, like, meet for coffee several times a week. After like script come in, we would sit down, we would talk about it, we would talk for hours about it, and he would just sit there just sketching, drawing, just based on our conversation. It was an immensely personal project for both of us, and that was probably the most rewarding because it helped me cope with a lot of shit in my life, and it means a lot to me. So if you guys know Red Green Wake, it's super, super weird, but now you know a little bit about what is behind it. It might make a little bit more sense because it is really... It might be an impenetrable, but if you know the background, it's a little bit more easy to access. Okay, let's see here. Okay. What villains would you use in your run if you were to work on Daredevil?
Oh man. Well, if I don't know if they would allow me to write it, so that usually that would be up to the writer.
But if you had to say, like, I want to include these villains for Daredevil,
that is a very good question. I don't know why, but I have a fondness for Stiltman.
Stiltman?
Yeah, I don't know why.
Maybe we should include that in your next drawing.
Because I think it's because of the metal in his legs. It reminds me of like Doc Ock's arms.
Okay.
They have like those. Maybe I just like the idea of being able to like walk. Like there was, I think it was. I'm pretty sure it was the Miller run where there's this, or maybe it was after he left, where Stuntman's walking and he's like way up in the sky. Oh, you know what? It was John Byrne drew it in She-Hulk.
Oh, okay.
And she goes down below and she grabs his leg and she like throws him and stuff. But it was, I just like the visual where he's like walking along, like, but he's like, 12 stories up or something.
Which is ridiculous.
And he's just, it was just kind of like, yeah, I'm still I walk along. I don't know. It's hard to.
Okay. Okay, I think that might have to be your next drawing. We'll do Stiltman, but we'll draw one from here, and that'll influence the Stiltman. Do you want to do that?
I can certainly try. I can't remember what he looks like.
Well, we can use reference. If you need any reference, we can look it up.
I think I'm kind of done this. I think this is kind of getting...
Okay, no, that's cool. If you're done, you're done. That's cool. We've got a half hour before our break, so we can move on to the next thing. Let's see here. What is your favorite Daredevil run or book?
Oh, man.
I like Brubaker.
Yeah.
But I like anything Brubaker. I'm kind of a fanboy, but...
Yeah, I didn't read all of that. That's the one where he goes to jail, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that actually, for the first chunk, I don't remember how far I read to, but for the first chunk, yeah, that was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Well, I always default to Miller. I think he really got Daredevil. And plus, I have a affinity for crime comics, and kind of the angle, like, he kind of took Daredevil out of, like, the superhero mode a little bit.
More of a street.
Yeah, more of a street thing.
Yeah.
Which I think it appeals to me a lot. He didn't fight... super amazing guys.
Well, and that makes sense because you said you don't really like superhero stories. It's not really about, like, if he took a knife to the guts, he took a knife to the guts.
Yeah.
There wasn't, like, he wouldn't heal immediately.
Yeah.
Or,
like the Born Again. Was it Born Again? That was called, right? And I always get his name wrong. Dave Mazzucchelli? Yeah. That six, I think it's 6 issues, is just amazing. Like the story and the art and everything just... And, like, Nuke with the flag on his face. Like, it's just amazing. But I also like when Miller illustrated his own Daredevil stuff, too.
You're a big Miller fan. I mean,
yes.
Yes, he's definitely an influence on your work.
Oh, for sure.
So who is he your favorite artist?
Artist? His Ronin is the best comic. I thought you were giving me another one.
Oh, fuck!
Ronin is the greatest comic book ever created.
Ronin?
Yeah.
Oh, man, you know what? You're not going to like me saying this. I hated that book.
I
hated it.
It hit me just at the right time. I like that post-apocalyptic. I like sci-fi. I like samurai.
This is the one that fell down, so just be careful.
Cool. I like samurai type Japanese type thing. It just had it all.
I found it to be a convoluted mess, but you...
Oh, it's... I think the one thing that I really liked about it, too, is that it wasn't an easy read. I had to read... And, I mean, I was young when I discovered it. And I had to read it, like, 5 or 6 times before things started kind of like... Okay. I see what's going on.
I did read it once, and I was taken out so many times because I just... I think it was... I couldn't... I don't know. Maybe I should give it a second shot because that was like at the beginning of my comic reading career where I wasn't. I was new to comics and I didn't read any superheroes. I basically found it in my 20s and I read a very kind of certain set of books, and that one was way outside, the scope of what I was reading. So that might have been part of it. Do you want to do Stiltman? Is that what you want to do?
I'm just gonna draw, but
okay. Well, you can't. You gotta pick a theme, motherfucker, so that people can actually go along with you.
Oh,
so you can draw whatever you want, but draw to the skull. It has to influence what you're doing.
All right. I'll get back to like whatever D&D or whatever.
We're just kind of sitting in
strange.
Okay.
So
strange. Draw another one. You gotta tie two things together.
As long as it's not booty or something.
I hope it's booty.
What do we got? Strange space. Okay. Strange space.
Space came up last time too. I feel like we gotta here. I'm gonna draw you a new one. I'm gonna draw you a new because that came up last time. I gotta take those old ones out. You're gonna have to get a little bit psychedelic here, my friend.
Oh no. Okay.
Strange and acid.
Acid.
So the theme, we don't have anything other than strange and acid. And you can interpret that however you want, viewers. However you want. What are you looking at? Questions?
No. I'm drawing a face, but it's like my hand's not there.
Well, there's a delay.
Oh,
yeah. There's a
I'm like, who do you got on the iPad? He's drawing.
There's another artist at a different location. I'm like, yeah, we're showing your drawings, Jason. Don't worry about it. I've got a pinch hitter, guys. Don't worry.
Well, after that last night, I don't blame you.
Strange acid. Do whatever you want with that. Hashtag Absinthe of Art. If you guys are new to this show, or you just popped in checking it out, this is Jason Copland. He is a local Vancouver illustrator who's worked on a pile of different things. Daredevil. He's worked on Kill All Monsters. He's worked on like a bunch of stuff. Murder Book. So check his stuff out, and you can follow. Where can they find you online?
I'm mostly on Facebook. I post most of my stuff on Facebook or Twitter.
Okay.
And you just Jason Copland.
Yeah,
right. I'm like, I think I'm the only one.
He's the only one in the universe, so
you know me by my goateed little avatar.
Okay.
I use the same avatar as much as possible. On Facebook, I'm the guy wearing the Jets hat who's hugging a Slurpee, a home, like a snow cone thing, but it's a Slurpee.
He's got a problem.
Maker.
He's definitely.
I do have a problem. I seriously do, and I'm looking into that. I don't know what I'm drawing at all.
So anyway, if you guys want to draw along with us, which we highly encourage, you can win an original drawing from tonight, which there's one with some balls on it, so that's sweet already. You can get some ball art. So all you need to do is hashtag Absinthe of Art, but you need to be drawing. You can't win anything. You can't win fuck all unless you are drawing along with us and posting them on Twitter. So I will be checking throughout the night on that hashtag, and you may win yourself one of these drawings tonight. And we're going to be revealing the winner from last week at about 8:30 Pacific Standard Time, so stick around for that.
But yeah, Frank Miller and Ronan. Best thing ever. There's a scene, I don't know, you guys should all read it if you haven't read it. There's a scene where they get taken down into the subway where the hobo cannibal people live, and it's a scene where this guy, so Casey, who's sort of in charge, she's like the main security officer person, and she's down with a couple of her men, and she's trying to get them, it's pitch black, and she's trying to get them to come to her, and she's like, come follow my voice, and one guy finds her, and the other one, he's kind of going a little off the deep end, and she's like, just reach out and take my hand, and he's like, hand, yeah, here, my hand, and it just goes on about, well, I can, they've taken my, still got my foot, and I still got my leg, but I don't think I can give you my hand, or whatever he says, and it's just like, and it's all in the black, and it's like, holy fuck, like, this is blowing my mind, and I was fairly young, and it was just, there's never been a scene that chilled me like that. I don't find comics scary. I don't think you can do a scary comic, but that scene the shit out of me.
Well, it left an impression, right?
Oh my god!
Well,
Like just the idea of being alone in the dark and people are taking body parts from you
while
you're still alive.
I think that's the thing where they talk about that in film too. Like horror really isn't the things you don't see because your mind can make it so much worse. Where you started thinking, well, what is actually going on there, right? Because you have to fill in the blanks. Yeah, and I think that's where horror can exist in comics too. Is the reader has to kind of figure it out.
Like, I mean, I don't read a lot of comics anymore because I never get out of my house.
That's what you don't buy digital comics on like your iPad or anything.
I do, but it's weird. I'll buy them and then I won't read them. I
probably got about 100 comics on my iPad that I haven't read yet.
I've got tons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can see our shelf. Like, there's like 50 trades there. We've got another whole box in our bedroom.
You should see my office.
I stopped buying singles a long time ago.
It's wall to wall stuff, and I would say that I probably have not read about 80% of it.
Wow.
Like I buy it.
Yeah.
I buy it.
All right, I'll read this.
And you know, I don't even delude myself anymore to think that I'm gonna read it. I buy it because I like the art.
Yeah,
I buy stuff now that I know that the art is going to be something that I can reference and maybe draw some sort of inspiration from.
Yeah.
The days of reading comics for me are pretty much over, only because it goes back to my memory. Because half the time I don't remember what happened the week or the month before, so it's like. You know, I gotta reread that.
It's a weird medium. Like that's why I like to buy them. I think the European style has got it right, where they get a year to make their shit, and then a book comes out.
Yeah,
that's that for me.
I think trades are perfect.
Yeah. Okay, we got another one here.
All right, let's do it.
This one's from. I'm sorry, I'm gonna murder your name. Ira Gwen, EIRA Gwen. That's your Twitter handle, and this is for the last one. That for me is perfect.
Yeah,
that's exactly what I would have pictured, but I couldn't put it into words. I should be able to. I'm a writer, for Christ's sakes. But.
Very nice.
Thanks for sharing that. You have put yourself into the contest. You may win some of Jason's art tonight. All right. Let's see here.
Hopefully, I create something.
It looks like Thor, right?
It is Thor.
It is Thor.
Yeah, he's sort of one of my defaults.
Is he?
Yeah.
How's the acid going to come into play?
Yeah, I don't know.
we could take a break if you want to think about it. If you want to have a little bit of time to like conceptualize it.
Yeah, the thing is, you know, like I said, I could draw more. It wouldn't take that long.
Well, if that one's not working, then if you don't like the theme, then we just fucking throw it out and we can go back to this one, and we can.
Well, no, I can still do that. I'd already started drawing this before we picked the thing, so. You know.
Hand it here. At least show people. Okay. Hey, Tamara, welcome. Thank you for coming out. Also, thank you for finishing Rat Queens 15. You're the best, and I love you.
Oh, Tamara.
There you go. Just a quick sketch.
Tamara is
the best colorist working in comics. Just gonna put that out there. It's not just flattery; it's true. She's saved my ass numerous times.
Amazing.
More times than I can count.
She did the colors on enormous cover I did for Tim. It's a variant cover.
I think she did.
So
I think she did Johnny Christmases too, and that's how we got her for Pisces.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Pisces. Sorry.
The ill-fated Pisces.
Yeah, that's
how a drink raise a drink to that.
Pisces.
That's the nature of my career. People just want Rat Queens. Just give us the Rat Queens.
Well, when you got something that works, why?
I know. Why fight it? Why fight it?
It's. I'm still waiting for that character,
that book, that series
book
to pick
people,
up.
Yeah, really twig onto. I think Kill a Monster is awesome, but it's although Rat Queens has its own niche too, I guess.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's got like just media love. And
right.
I think it's because I've said
this. You got it because it's good. But.
Well, it is good. It is a good book.
Of course, it's
good. I'm very proud of it. But I also think it hit at the exact right time because there wasn't anything like that happening at the time. Now that's all that's happening is
really?
Women-led books. Yeah. Oh, it's all
women-led. I was thinking like
because when I did it,
Dragon
I actually thought, but because Skull Kickers was out then, and I don't I think their singles, I think their trades sell pretty good, but I think their singles were like pretty low. So I thought, well, not only is this like kind of a D&D style book, but it's created by 2 guys with 4 female leads, and books generally with female leads wasn't anything out there. So I did it just because I wanted to, but I'm like, I fully expect this to die after 3 issues. I expected to happen to Rat Queens would have the Pisces, but it just managed to do good. And then now it was kind of part of that wave of now it's everywhere. Now it's like the other way where it's like it's all female led all the time, and it's kind of like people are just. I feel like Marvel kind of. It's just like, oh, women do buy comic books. And it's like, yes, they fucking buy comic books, but they had to wait for other people to take the risk before they capitalized on it.
Well, yeah, but big corporations aren't ones that take risks. I mean, that's against their nature.
So basically I'm saying I'm responsible for this new wave of women-led comic books right here.
He's the man right there.
No, I don't have that.
Okay, wait, so this is Acid... What was
Strange and Acid, but did you want a combination with the dice rolling, or what were you feeling?
I keep seeing space. We don't want space. We want acid.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. We can roll a dice.
Because you could get something like a cool mage, and he's casting like an acid spell or something, right?
Yeah.
And melting some guy's.
I'll
face
probably
off.
end up trying to turn it into something modern, like I always do. But
that's fine.
yeah. Okay, let's roll.
That's your
what
style.
What am I rolling? I'm rolling the 10-sided.
The D10 first.
All right. Here we go.
If you get the same one.
6.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Gnome. Yes. Yes. That is the perfect one. Thank you, Dice Gods. Okay, and roll the
11.
I'm gonna say it's a 12, and you're doing a gnome wizard.
What's 11?
Well, 11 is a warlock, and I hate warlocks.
What's the difference between a warlock and a wizard?
It matters to me. So
No,
you're
but
doing
what's the difference?
I know warlocks. They're stupid.
But I don't. So I thought a warlock was just a male wizard.
It is, but in like D&D, it's like they're more they get it from a source, like some kind of entity gives them some kind of arcane. It's kind of like a cleric who casts arcane spells, because clerics cast divine spells, right? So it's like that they have some kind of like entity, like a demon or an otherworldly god, like a Cthulhu monster that gives them. It's stupid. Do a wizard. So you're doing a gnome wizard on acid, or using acid in some capacity. Chat, you are going to join us on this crusade. A gnome wizard that has the word acid as the secret word.
Can you pull up a
gnome?
What a gnome looks like?
Yeah.
I just see big nose. Is that?
They got big noses. That's a little racist, but
well, they are classified by their race in the book, so.
Okay, I'm trying to find it here. There we go. That's a gnome.
That just looks like an elf.
They're kind of small elf. Yeah, like a small little elf.
He's got pointy ears.
Yeah,
big straight hair. I thought afro.
You can do an afro if you want. You can make your gnome look whatever you want, man.
That's just end up looking like
Thor.
Yeah, my Thor. Hey, my Thor is now a gnome. I'll just put pointy ears on him. Okay, gnome.
Gnome wizard.
Gnome wizard.
With
strange acid.
Or you can strange an acid if you want, yeah. Okay, so I got some questions here.
Okay.
Someone said you could go for a Shadowrun aesthetic. Does that mean anything to you?
Not at all.
So Shadowrun is a role-playing game system that is set in future Seattle, where magic has come back to the world, and it's a cyberpunk meets magic.
Okay.
So there's like people have like turned into like goblins and orcs, and not goblins, but like dwarves. The mythical races have come back with the return of magic to the world. So there's wizards, but there's also like street samurai. So it's like a mix of
street samurai.
Yeah, like cyberpunk meets. So there would be
I want to do a book like that.
Well, then start right now. Make it like a street. You've already started on the book. Why would you start with the book? You're starting with the book
because he's a wizard.
Okay, you could do it like a cyberpunk gnome wizard casting like an acid splash spell or something, or he's just taking a big hit of acid. You do what you want.
How do you draw somebody taking a hit of acid?
Well,
that's rhetorical.
I've got some acid for you. We could drop some.
That
today
is
and see how it
rhetorical.
goes.
I think
no, I'm just kidding. I don't.
I think my wife's watching. So.
Okay, let's see here.
Jackie Stewart, I love you.
Okay, I'm missing a bunch of the chat here. Okay, let's see here. Did you expect Peter Panzer to do as well as you thought? Well, it didn't do that well. That's why we had to take a year break. So that answers that. It did good at first, but that was because speculators got in on it when the TV show was announced.
And what's the deal with the TV show?
I don't know. I've read the pilot, and it's weird.
But you weren't involved? I thought you had some
I've
sort of involvement in the writing of that, no?
No, I have nothing to do with it. Okay. We would have been like consultants or something stupid, right? You know, like just to like... whatever. It's totally fine. But it's... The executive producer is the woman who brought back Doctor Who.
Right.
So, like, she wants to do it. I've had phone calls with her, which is kind of weird.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of like in limbo. Like, it's things like this just take forever. They just take forever. But the comic itself, I'm really happy with it. You know, I think we started pretty good out of the gate. But man, like that, the fourth volume for me, I feel is some of the best stuff that I've ever written. And it was kind of, I wrote the Tiger Lily arc around the time that I was about to become a father, and so there was a lot of emotion going around that at the time. And I always find when I'm going through something, it doesn't matter what the emotion is. I don't know if you find that with your art, but like as a writer, whenever I'm going through something, either good or bad, but it's a really strong emotion, it really affects the quality or the depth of what I'm doing. And that was the case with the fourth volume. I was really happy with it. Oh, thank you for picking up Pisces. You and 3 other people did it. Let's see here. Someone said to draw a Cheech wizard.
I don't know what that
Cheech
is.
and Chong.
Oh.
Yeah. But someone does agree with you. Gnomes are known for their, I can't read that word right now, noses.
Can't read that word now.
Prodigious?
Prodigious?
Is that a word?
Prodigious is a word.
I
don't know about prodigious. Thank you. Validation.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't disagree with
Believe me, I need validation in my life.
I didn't disagree with you. He's so sad. He's so sad all the time.
I'm gonna have another drink.
If you need another one, let me know. Drink that absinthe, man. Don't let it go to waste.
I'm not wasting it.
Each glass is worth like $5. This bottle was $150.
You're bullshit.
Yeah, totally. It's $40 for that though. $45.
But hard liquor is pretty expensive for a bottle. Anyway, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's 70 proof. Or
70%,
which is massive. Considering.
What do you think of it, though?
It's okay. I like. The thing is, I like licorice.
Yeah.
So it's not like
it's not. I think there's a weird association with absinthe.
Well, like I think
we talked about.
Yeah, because it was supposed to like make you go
hallucinate
wacko or something.
Yeah.
So I was a little hesitant. But,
it's all myth. But I think probably the original stuff did. Like the stuff back in the day.
Well, like it'd be like moonshine or something. Like
exactly
when you're drinking something.
And it is made in wormwood, which has hallucinogenic. But
there you go.
You know, it's like if you can get this at the BC liquor store, it's not. You're not going to be hallucinating. You know.
Yeah. No. They don't want to be sued.
No. Von Bode did Cheech Wizard.
Okay.
I don't know who Von Bode is. I'm sorry. I'm the worst comic person. Okay, we got some more art here. Oh man, strange acid already.
Oh. I need to steal your guys' ideas. Oh,
that's grisly.
Oh, that is
this guy. You need to go see someone.
Man.
That is Nick Anderson, Annie Anderson, one of our mods, and this is Shan the man, Shan. What do we got? Tripping Balls, Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange.
You guys can...
For a moment, when I had the Thor drawing there, I was going to do Doctor Strange standing across from him, but I couldn't remember what he looked like.
You guys can follow... that's Shannon Lentz. He's at @trail_of_dead. He does a online comic called The Horror of Core, which he's been putting out. I think you can buy it on his website, too. Shannon's a great guy. If you are a Vancouverite or in the area... Shannon also runs the Terminal City game convention.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Tabletop, where you can go for a day and play the shit out
2
of
days.
board games. 2 days, yeah.
It's a 2-day event, and it's awesome.
So check out Terminal City. They're also on Twitter. Terminal City, is it Tabletop Convention? I think it is.
TCT.
TCT.
Tabletop.
Yeah.
Convention.
Yeah. So check that out. I will likely be there hanging out. I may just be there to help Shannon out because Shannon's my man.
I'm going to be there, and I think my wife will be there volunteering.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Are you're going to be playing?
Depends. I kind of want to do an X-Wing thing.
You know, oh man, I almost did this tonight. I wasn't sure. I
couldn't play while we draw.
That's what I was gonna.
You couldn't do.
I was gonna have the camera set up so that one of the cameras was like. I didn't know how to figure out logistically, but to have like a Luke versus Vader fight while we were, and like every like 10 minutes, just take a turn.
Oh shit!
Yeah, maybe we can figure it out.
Oh, we totally could.
We can figure it out.
We got hours. Oh man, I'm dying to play some X-Wing. I seriously dying to play some X-Wing. Okay, I got to draw a gnome here.
All right. Let's see here. I think that's okay. So I think I've shared all of the most current ones on. So let me check here. No, that's not the right hashtag. What am I doing?
Oh, I'm drawing a dwarf.
I've got so many. Well, it doesn't matter. You can make it whatever you want. This is your show. You're the star.
As soon as I drew that nose, I knew that it was going to be a dwarf, not a.
All right. So I know, John, you corrected how I was saying your last name, but I'm still saying it Weir. Weir. You know who you are. This is the Strange Acid. Looks like we get a Doctor Strange casting some spells, and then I can't quite tell what that. I think it looks like there's a dude on a computer there. Maybe he's watching porn or something. That's likely. He's saying, "Well, fuck." So, sorry. What do you think so far? Live drawing. How you feeling about it?
Oh, it's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you go to the local drink and draw here? You do,
I
right?
used to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've gone once before, but I'm a writer. I don't know what I was doing there.
The nice thing about it is, the nice thing is that that there's a huge range of level of talent.
And some, like, styles too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's more about being social. Really, it's not about what's being drawn
and getting drunk.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's why I'm here.
Did you want some spice box? I'm offering a spice box.
Maybe later. I used to go, but I find that it's gotten quite popular.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then so if you arrive late,
there's no seats.
There's no seats, and then you get stuck on the end, and people are chatting, and I have to feel comfortable, which is kind of weird to say right now, but I have to feel comfortable in a space to be able to draw. I can't just sit down and draw wherever.
Yeah.
So if I go to the jam and I'm late and I'm sitting on the end and I'm feeling kind of like, ugh, then I don't draw, and then it's sort of like, well, why am I here? Because I can only talk to like the two people. I can't talk to the people down the table. So I find that I don't go. Only because
then you have to leave your house and
believe me.
I get it, dude. I get it. I forgot. I keep forgetting to retweet this stuff, man. I lose my train of thought, and it's we could probably go to a break here pretty quick. What I think I'll do is,
what do we do during a break?
If you got to take a piss, you take a piss. If you need to like get some more water, get some more drinks. It's just kind of like to stretch a little bit because you sit here for a couple hours. We're old ass. It takes its toll.
Speak for yourself, man.
I am definitely old ass. Thanks for coming, Shan, man. We'll see you around soon, brother.
Oh, you leaving, bro? All right, take it easy.
Okay, so I'll quickly announce the winner. Oh shit, I had it on the screen here. Let me. Oh, okay, there it is. Okay, so the winner of the Gorilla Halfling Ranger, which is
me. I won.
No, you definitely didn't win. You didn't draw last week. If you didn't draw, you might have been able to.
I wasn't at my table.
I'm gonna show it. But I kind of like it about this show. Like, I run the D20 Babes too, which is like, I feel like you gotta perform. Like I can't just like walk away from the camera and just like fuck around. This show is much more laid back. Tell me if you can see it properly in this camera.
Okay. back it up just a touch and down. And then a little closer. Little. Yeah, that's about good.
Okay.
Maybe a little closer. That's good. Perfect.
All right, so if you guys tuned in last week, you know that we give away some of the art for the show, and participating in the show, being part of it, is kind of the heart of this program. So the winner this week is M.L. McDonald at Alchemichael77. So even more reason for you to email me. So hit me up with your information. My email is curtisjweave@gmail.com. You have won yourself an original Max Dunbar. And since you are local, you could just come pick it up and then be a guest. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hold it hostage until you come and get it. Which sounds really creepy. That sounds like I'm the guy who was trying to buy your drawings for 10 cents.
Yeah. Run away, Alchemichael.
So send me an email. Yeah, you have won that drawing, and you guys keep drawing. We're gonna take a quick break here. We each take about 5-10 minutes just to kind of sit back, chat, and then we'll come back to the show and continue on with what Jason's working on here. And we will see you guys in 5 to 10 minutes.
Yes.